Magandang umaga po, ako si Neil Mercado.
At ako po si Isabel Pechay.
At nandito tayo ngayon sa Senado para sa ika-6 na araw ng impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Kahapon nga nung natapos na yung pag-examine dito kay NBI Regional Director Jeremy Lotok. At kahapon din nagkaroon ng malaking developments pagdating naman dito sa mga plano ng, especially on the prosecution's end with regard to their witness. At ngayong araw, Bel, naasahan natin na magsimula yung oral arguments para doon sa subpoena, doon sa tax and the bank records ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Bel, you were here yesterday, no? Can you walk us through doon sa nangyari dito sa impeachment trial kahapon?
Kahapon, Neil, sinimulan at muling ipinagpatuloy yung pagtestigo ni NBI Regional Director Jeremy Lotok. So nagkaroon ng pagpapatuloy ng cross-examination ng defense team. Sumunod din yung redirect examination ng prosecution, tapos nagkaroon din ng recross examination yung defense team. Ilan sa mga napag-usapan kahapon ay yung pumatungkol doon sa Operation Romanov o yung Oplan Romanov na binabanggit doon sa video na pinakita nila on Article 4 of the impeachment articles na pumapatungkol doon sa alleged grave threats ng Vice Presidente sa Pangulo, sa unang ginang, saka sa former Speaker of the House. Kasama dyan sa mga natalakay, kasama na din sa pagtatanong ng mga senator judges is kanina ba talaga directed yung threat? Because doon sa video na pinakita, it appears na yung threat ay nasa pamilyang Duterte. Pero meron pang instance before that, January 2024, na binanggit naman ni Baste Duterte sa isang briefing yung Operation Romanov, and based from that, parang it appears na ito ay directed as a threat doon sa Marcos family naman. So ilan yan sa mga tinalakay, kasama din yung pagsabi nung defense team, pagpapakita ng defense team ng ilang mga typographical errors, discrepancies, and as for the prosecution and the witness, sinabi naman nila na hindi nito ina-alter yung fact na nagsabi ng mga ganong banta ang Vice Presidente. So that was the sum total. Ilan din sa mga nakuha natin dun sa second witness nila ay yung pagsabi na for them, as for the NBI, ay they believe na meron talagang kinontrata ang Vice Presidente. But as to the material evidence, aside from the video that they authenticated and showed, wala po silang evidence pa on the hitman. But we will see later on sa mga additional witnesses pa ng NBI kung meron ba na intelligence report on that, kung meron na bang yung alleged hitman or assassin na sinasabi nila. And yun nga, sinabi din kahapon ng counsel for the prosecutors na si Attorney Lorna Kapunan na wini-withdraw na nila yung pagtestigo ni Zulaika Lopez and Captain Belinda Bello. Supposedly, yesterday, papakinggan din yung testimony ni Attorney Zulaika Lopez, and today supposedly papakinggan naman si Captain Belinda Bello, but as was mentioned, nag-forgo na sila sa pagtawag sa kanila.
And very interesting na pakinggan din natin doon sa press conference that happened after itong impeachment trial kahapon, Bel. Nag-react actually ang prosecution at defense doon sa mga developments na nangyari during the trial. You mentioned the Oplan Romanov, nag-react dyan. Si defense spokesperson Attorney Michael Powa, ang sinabi niya, well, we don't know yet kung ano ba yung nare-refer ni Mayor Baste Duterte when he mentioned the Romanov. Are they referring to the same thing? So yun ngayon yung mga kailangan siguro nating linawin at siguro mas mapag-uusapan pa natin as the impeachment trial moves along. And I agree with you, Bel, perhaps the biggest development yesterday was the decision of the prosecution, because if you listen, doon sa may mga nakausap ako na kaibigan natin sa media, at naggulat din sila doon sa naging developments yesterday. They weren't expecting that decision from the prosecution. And after nitong trial, nag-hold ng press conference itong prosecution, and they explained the rationale behind that decision na i-forgo na nga as a witness itong si Attorney Zulaika Lopez. Pinaliwanag ni Attorney Lorna Kapunan, the counsel for the prosecutors, na meron naman kasi talaga silang tatlong reason kung bakit nila gustong ilagay sa witness stand si Attorney Zulaika Lopez in the first place. Number one, to prove na Attorney Lopez was personally present during that live stream kung saan binitawan nga ni Vice President Sara Duterte yung alleged threats against President Marcos, First Lady Marcos, and the former House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Pero sinasabi nila, hindi na nila kailangan yung testimony na yon dahil itong mismong defense ang nag-play ng video na pinapakita na umiiyak doon si attorney Zulaika Lopez. The second reason na minention nila kung bakit gusto nilang ilagay sa witness stand si Attorney Lopez ay to confirm naman that the Vice President indeed uttered the statements during the live stream. Kaso sinasabi din nila, hindi na rin yon kailangang patunayan dahil nga ginamit naman yung video na as evidence na rin ng defense. And they also mentioned dun mismo sa speech ni Attorney Vinluan, who is one of the counsels naman for the defense, doon sa isa sa mga speech niya, Attorney Kapunan highlighted na Attorney Vinluan mentioned that the Vice President indeed made these statements in front of the media. At yung pangatlo nilang gustong patunayan on why they want to put Attorney Lopez on the witness stand ay to prove the authenticity of the video. At sinasabi ng prosecution, hindi na rin nila yon kailangan patunayan dahil the same video that they used as evidence was used by the defense for as their evidence then. So, yun yung rason nila. So, for the prosecution, after their short huddle yesterday, they found and they decided that it would be unnecessary, it would be redundant to put Attorney Zulaika Lopez doon sa witness stand. Ngayon, Bel, of course, maraming katanungan that goes along with it. Number one, Attorney Zulaika Lopez is a known close ally and friend of the Vice President. Naturally, kapag pinull out siya as a witness ng prosecution, the question would be, natakot ba doon sa maaaring sabihin ni Attorney Zulaika Lopez? Ang paliwanag ni Attorney Lorna Kapunan, walang takot. Sinabi pa nga niya, siya daw mismo sana yung mag-handle dito kay Attorney Zulaika Lopez. And I want to use yung quote niya kahapon doon sa press conference. Those of you who know me, and I see many familiar faces here, know that hindi ako maatras at all. In fact, I kill a mosquito with an atomic bomb. This was not necessary here. So sinasabi niya, wala silang takot na ilagay sa witness stand si Attorney Zulaika Lopez. Yung decision nila to pull her out of the witness stand was not driven by fear, but rather they found that it's no longer necessary to put her on the witness stand. Tinanong din sila kahapon, Bel, kung nagkaroon ba ng backdoor negotiation sa pagitan ng prosecution at ng defense. Ang sinabi ni Attorney Kapunan, that was not the case. At tinanong din sila, were they worried about the possibility na sa cross-examination or doon sa mga manifestations at questions and inquiry ng ating mga senator judges na baka may masabi si Attorney Lopez na hindi, kumbaga, could take a hit doon sa arguments ng prosecution. And Attorney Kapunan also said na that was not the case. Nag-react din yung prosecution, Bel, doon sa reaction naman ni Vice President Sara Duterte prior to the impeachment trial. Sinabi kasi ni Vice President Sara Duterte before the impeachment trial started kahapon na the trial is showing that there is no evidence to back up the allegations against her. Sinasabi ngayon ng prosecution is lahat naman ng ebidensya ng prosecution ay napaka-transparent. Pero so ang hinahanap nila ngayon, nasaan ang ebidensya ng defense? Bakit hindi yun yung ipakita natin? Sabi ni Attorney Lorna Kapunan, we have not seen it. We have not seen any evidence coming from the defense. Ang evidence nila ay kahapon, marami daw typo. So what they are looking for ay concrete evidence mula dito sa defense. So kahapon meron ding nabanggit about what they can say about the current strategy of the defense. Sabi ni Attorney Lorna Kapunan, and I quote this, binanggit niya na there is a deliberate attempt to misinform the viewing public. Perhaps we can get the reaction of the defense regarding this. We can also perhaps get the reaction of Attorney Reginald Tongkol, the spokesman of the impeachment court regarding this. Dahil sinasabi nila ng prosecution, the defense is focusing on this as a criminal case rather than an impeachable matter. So ngayon mamaya hingin natin yung reaction nila. So lastly, tinanong din sila kung yung on this particular article of grave threats and inciting sedition, kino-consider pa ba nilang kunin na witness si Vice President Sara Duterte? Ang sabi ni Attorney Lorna Kapunan, she will leave it up to the public prosecutors. And almost kasabay nung sa prosecutors, nag-hold din ng press conference yung defense at hiningi din yung reaction nila regarding the decision of the prosecution to withdraw Attorney Zulaika Lopez as a witness. Ang sabi ni Attorney Michael Powa, who's the spokesperson of the defense, ang sinasabi niya, natural lamang yun. The parties have the right to pull out yung mga witnesses nila, and even sa kanila, maybe in the future, they might also pull out some of their witnesses if they no longer see the necessity to present them. Tinanong din sila, are they now looking at the possibility of including Attorney Zulaika Lopez as a witness? So sabi ni Attorney Michael Poa, right now, walang plano. They don't see the necessity yet, although that's for now. So let's see kung ano yung magiging developments pagdating sa usapin na yan. Pero one interesting matter no, napansin ko kahapon during the impeachment trial ay yung decision ng defense na ipakita yung video no ni Vice President Sara Duterte na worrying about the safety and security of her family. Kahapon, Bel, nagkaroon din ng statement from Attorney Vinduan na sinasabi niya na 80% ang naging bar exam score ni Vice President Sara Duterte, which is higher than most
Of the lawyers.
of the lawyers here. Very interesting, no? At tinanong, tinanong si Attorney Poa, what's the logic behind mentioning those in the impeachment trial? Ang sabi ni Attorney Michael Poa, pagdating doon sa 80% rating ni Vice President Sara Duterte, they wanted to show the Vice President na it would be very unnatural for someone na kung meron talaga silang legitimate na balak na masamang gawin against another person, they would announce it. Yun daw yung logic behind it. Doon naman pagdating doon sa decision nila na ipakita yung video of the Vice President being worried about the safety of her family, ang logic naman daw behind that is gusto nila ipakita yung state of mind ni Vice President Sara Duterte. So, very interesting itong mga information na ito, and I would be very curious to see kung paano itong mga developments na ito would affect whatever happens. Not only today, but also moving forward in this impeachment trial.
Exactly. And kahapon din, no, in the past 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, Attorney Zulaika Lopez was here in the Senate. So, sumunod nga siya, tumalima siya dun sa subpoena. But again, she was not called to the witness stand. And isa din sa mga nabanggit ng prosecution. And even the impeachment court thanked the prosecution no, for going to witnesses. Kasi sabi nila, this will also help na pabilisin yung trial as per the call of the senator judges na baka pwede mas direct to the point yung mga tanong, and mas maging mabilis kasi we're expecting 92 trial days and alone for the Article 4, 11 trial days sa side pa lang yan ng prosecution. And so far, ang sabi before ay 1 day, 1 witness, may ganong rule. But ang nangyayari ngayon is parang 2 days.
Lampas na.
2 days per witness yung nangyayari. So we're going to see no what will happen next. But as for today, wala din naman tayong ina-expect na witness na uupo sa ating impeachment trial today, because what will happen is again the oral arguments of both teams doon sa subpoena na nire-request ng prosecution to get the BIR tax records of Duterte, Manscarpio, her husband, and the
22
companies,
corporations.
companies linked to the couple. Aside from that, meron din tayong papakinggang isa pang batch of oral arguments para naman doon sa AMLC or Anti-Money Laundering Council reports and the bank records of the documents. So magkakaroon each side ng 15 minutes to argue their case. Noon nga pong Lunes, nag-submit na yung magkabilang kampo ng memoranda nila pertaining to the request of the subpoena. So nung hapon, no, nagbigay yung defense, and then bandang gabi ng Monday, nagpadala na din yung prosecution nung stand naman nila regarding the defense. So basically, they're arguing bakit ba importante yung pagkuha nung mga records na yon. Ito naman with regards to Article 2 or yung accusation dun sa articles of impeachment na alleging that nag-amass ng unexplained wealth yung Vice Presidente, she failed to disclose properly her assets, and as well as yung pagkakaroon niya ng mga businesses despite holding public office.
So Bel nga, interesting na abangan natin yung kahapon. Magkakaroon din ng focus ngayong hapon sa ating mga senador para to discuss kung can they unanimously agree na either to approve the subpoena or to reject the subpoena para dito nga sa tax and bank records ni Vice President Sara Duterte and those close with her, particularly her husband and yung mga businesses that they own together. Well, we're only on our second week pero napakarami ng issue na mahalagang mapag-usapan natin, ano. Kahapon nagkaroon din ng press briefing si Attorney Reginald Tong. Tinanong siya about, we're on Article 4, pero itong subpoena kasi, it deals more with the second
Two,
article
yeah.
na sa articles of impeachment. Why is that the case, no?
Mhm.
Paliwanag ni Attorney Reginald Tungkol dyan sa usapin na yan ay dahil they are just trying to be ahead
Yeah,
doon
get it
sa
out of the
schedule nila,
way.
get it out of the way. Dahil nga, as we know, no, ibinalik initially yung BIR box because of concerns about paano yan acquire mula doon sa House, Committee on Committee on Justice. When they were still hearing the impeachment complaints against the Vice President. So ngayon, they are just trying to get it out of the way. Unahan na nila yung kanilang schedule. Well, marami pang issue na. Diyan pa yung kahapon, natanong din about doon sa, nagkaroon ba ng sub judice violation si Vice President Sara Duterte? Perhaps that's a question that we can ask the prosecution and the defense. We can also ask Attorney Reginald Tungkol on kung paano ba yung mga i-handle yung mga ganitong klaseng usapin. So we're expected to have a long day again, Bel, sa ating po mga kababayan, no. Pakinggan po natin mabuti yung argumento from both the prosecution and the defense. I understand minsan, Bel, no, medyo nakakadugo ng ilong yung napag-uusapan ng ating mga senador, particularly kapag medyo legal na yung usapin natin. But sinasabi nga ng impeachment court, normal na kahit na hindi criminal case itong hini-hear natin, normal na magkaroon ng ganyang mga legal na usapin, especially sa usapin ng procedure. Even, makapansin natin, no, siguro sa ating mga kababayan, you might be asking, bakit si mga simpleng typographical error? Napapoint out pa yan. Of course, part yan ng procedure. We can also look at it from a strategy perspective. Pwede din natin tingnan. Baka parte yan ng strategy ng defense. Ano? And actually, Attorney Michael Poa mentioned yesterday that kasama nga sa kanilang strategy is to question yung legitimacy at credibility ng mga witnesses ng prosecution. So all throughout the day, Bel, magkakaroon po tayo ng interviews from our prosecutors and our defense lawyers. So manatili pong nakatutok dito sa Inquirer.net para sa developments dito sa impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Mag-subscribe po sa ating YouTube channel at i-follow tayo sa ating mga social media platforms. Magandang umaga po.